West Ham still having by far the better of it territorially, still not finding enough openings for their own liking. Hurst now finding Redknapp. Redknapp across that goal. No, can someone poke that? Robson, yes! Brian Robson has done it. He squirmed that through. A lot of credit to Harry Redknapp, though. Redknapp, who did a lot of good work, the number 7 on the right, and Brian Robson, who finally squeezed it past.
It was a massive part of the area. It was the biggest part of the area, West Ham Football Ground. It was a centre point of the community, really. People loved West Ham. People around the area supported West Ham. 99% of them would live around there, would support West Ham. They wouldn't support Arsenal or Chelsea or Tottenham or anybody else. They'd be West Ham fans. So, but it was a club that had a real feeling to it. It was a club. As I say, the manager was amazing, coach Ron Greenwood, and we just brought kids out the youth team. They all went to local schools, come from East Ham, West Ham, Newham, Poplar, and they went on to become players for West Ham. So, and all their dads, you know, all the players' dads, most of them worked in the docks. Yeah, it had a real home. It was a homegrown, homely club, West Ham. It had a homely feel to it. And that was what made it so different to all the other, for me, made it a fantastic football club.
It is massive in the area. And everyone would talk about it at work. It was the be all and end all for a lot of people. And not only that, people work hard Monday to Friday, and that is a big outlet. You know, it's the time to maybe enjoy yourself, and having worked hard all week, this was the time to have a bit of fun, really. And hopefully, it didn't always work out that way, but West Ham meant a lot to a lot of people in the area.
We went to a cafe around the corner after training every day for our lunch. There was no food at the training ground as such. You went to a cafe, you went to Casataris. And the youth team would go to the central cafe. We used to have 4 shilling dinner vouchers, 4 bob, and for 4 bob you used to get steak and kidney pie, whatever you wanted. I used to have steak and kidney pie, chips and peas, jam roly-poly pudding with custard, 2 of them, a couple of Coca-Colas, and get change out of 4 bob. I mean, it's incredible now, and that was what you could get for your money. It was just completely different, wasn't it?
But I remember there used to be a cafe around the corner from Upton Park called Casataris. And so as young footballers, we would have to go back to Upton Park after training. And they would give us tokens. So we would go round to Casataris, and I think we'd get our food half price or something like that from the tokens. So Casataris was a big thing that we used to use. I think it used to be next door to the pie mess shop. So now they're going to lose a lot of business. Those people, you know, they're going to really miss that.
I think with all the businesses around this area, like the old pie and mash shop we used to have on the corner there, that's closed now. Most of the businesses, like they've all gone, and we're in a situation where we can't pay the massive rates that we're paying now. And what you're faced with now is like either betting shops or chicken shops, and that's all you've got in this area now, you know. We're looking to close down around about the end of February. It's something that's really been forced upon us. We can't really afford to pay the rates of the massive rates we pay with the borough. Plus the fact our membership now has dwindled quite largely due to the fact that West Ham have moved away now, they're not just over the road to us anymore, so and that was our major source of income, you know. But not only that, but I say because of your ordinary working class man moving away from the area, that's another thing that's like really put the nail in the coffin, really, you know. I first came in on them many years ago, and like it was quite a vibrant club, you know, very busy, lots of members, good entertainment. It's a place where you have to be a member to come in this club anyway, or be signed in for, as a member. They know that they're going to be safe here. They get to know people that they've never met before. It's a very nice atmosphere to be not only working in, but like entertaining in. On a match day itself, it could probably take 14, 15 grand on a good day. We don't even take that in a week now, you know. So like we're lucky, we average on around about £10,000 a week now, you know, if we're lucky. Back in the days when I first came here, it was a proper old East End club, you know, and but a lot of our members have now moved out, you know, and they've been replaced by people that are not, unfortunately, drinkers, really, you know. Financially, like, as much as we've tried, we can't do anything about it now. You've had to accept it.
No one had no money where I was, but everyone worked hard, did their best, and mums and dads encouraged their children to do better. And I can't say no one really moaned, you know, you just got on with things. And the community was really tight. Like where I lived, my family, we had like 5 generations of my family living in a square mile, so a typical East End family, which doesn't exist now. Everyone's scattered all over the country, all over Europe, aren't they? So, no, the East End was a really tight group, which has changed now. But now in the East End, it's all kind of all different nationalities now. It's like Asians, Africans, Eastern Europeans. It's just completely changed. But maybe it's not as tight-knitted as it used to be. But maybe in time it will be. That's all we can hope for.
It's different in them days, I think, to what it is now. It was a completely different area. I mean, it became a big Asian community. You know, West Ham Green Street is one of the biggest Asian communities, I think, in Europe. So it was a completely different world. You know, the old East End people had all moved out or whatever, and it had now become a very Asian community in that area. Asian people came and bought shops and started businesses, and gradually more and more came, and suddenly it became, as I say, if you go up to Green Street, it's from top to bottom, it's probably 90% Asian now. I mean, I played with the first black player to play in England, Clyde Best. Clyde was the first player, real black player, to come and play in this country. He came from Bermuda, turned up at West Ham's football ground, wrote in for a trial, 16 years of age, came over, became a big star, great player, fantastic person, and the West Ham fans loved him.
Tommy Taylor. And away, Hurst off in chase again versus Edwards. Edwards for the moment lost it. Hurst back to Clyde Best to hit one and a goal! There was a deflection, but it's a goal and it must go to Clyde Best.
You know, when you look back, he was the only black player in this country. Now, you cannot imagine, can you? It's incredible to think about it. But that's what he was, and the West Ham fans took him to their hearts and treated him very much, you know, as he deserved to be treated. They gave him a fantastic reception from day one.
Stewart back in. Haylock wins, but it's Dickens coming forward. He can hit him. Oh, it's a great goal. Alan Dickens, who's scored a couple of screamers like this already this season, suddenly comes from nowhere.
Well, West Ham, I would say, is the East End from my point of view, really. When you go to Upton Park and you see that statue there with Bobby Moore, I think it will always be remembered. You know, lots and lots of history. But I don't think it's nothing but good, really. And, just need to, you don't want to forget those kind of things, what West Ham have done. All the great players, and they do a lot in the community as well. You know, my manager at West Ham was encouraging all local kids So hopefully West Ham will always be remembered. Even Stratford isn't that far away. You know, it's only 10 minutes up the road. So you are still in the area. So West Ham will always be renowned and remembered in the East End. I'm sure of that.
I feel a bit bitter. Yeah, I feel a bit bitter because this has always been a massive place for the community. You know, it was a proper vibrant East End like community. You come out of Upton Park Station, you had the old market there, and I know that the changes have to happen, and we've had to accept that, you know, because like all of our old members now, well, the majority of them have moved away, and they've been replaced by people who are not from the area. I think this is probably the last bit of the East End you'll see for quite some time. Yeah.
Little Bobby's ghost know where to find us. When he can't hear singing ringing round the ground. When he turns up at a bowling on a Saturday at 3 and he just don't hear that old familiar sound. When Green Street's full of shoppers and mums with kids and coppers and not a sign of any West Ham fans. How will Bobby's ghost know where to find us when there's no one singing bubbles from the stands? When he comes down Barking Road and sees the turnstiles are all closed and there's workmen digging up our hallowed ground. Will he turn and go back home, and will he think he's on his own, or tilt his head and listen for that sound? When the bowling pub is empty on a rainy Wednesday night and the floodlights don't illuminate the sky, how will Bobby's ghost know where to find us? Will he stop and ask a passerby? Fortune's always hiding, I've looked everywhere. Now Upton Park to Stratford ain't that far. Sing a little louder when the boys run out next time, just so Bobby's ghost knows where we are.